Ah yes, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, they meet once again. Doesn't matter if he changes teams, it just doesn't matter. He's back in the Super Bowl one way or the other, and he's going up this week in the roster update, even though he threw 3 interceptions in the game, which is kind of weird. What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here with another Madden 21 update. We got a brief roster update today. Also want to reiterate the game is on a free trial right now. I did a video about all of that yesterday. If you want to catch it, I will link it below. But a lot of people were saying, no, the game isn't free. It's only free on Stadia. To my knowledge, the plan is for the game to be completely free up until the end of day on January 31st. All platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and now on Google Stadia. So I don't know if some of you may be having trouble finding it. You should be able to find it in your app store. The game is on a free trial with the celebration, I guess, of the Pro Bowl going on. But let's get into this week's roster update. So the first guy we got going up, of course, is Tom Brady, which we just kind of showed at the beginning of the video. He's going up 1 overall to a 96. Now, I've seen a lot of people have problem with this because he did throw 3 picks in the game. There's one you could argue Mike Evans should have caught. Pass was a little high, but Mike Evans should have probably caught it. But you know, I've talked about it a lot on this channel. It seems like there's a little Brady bias going on. Obviously, he's the GOAT, not taking that away from him. But even when he has games that aren't the greatest, sometimes he still goes up or rarely ever goes down. You know, they did get to the Super Bowl once again. Congrats, playing in his 10th Super Bowl. But he didn't have the best of games. You know, he had some crazy passes out there as well. But here's what they had to say about it. When this season kicked off, Tom Brady had a 90 overall in Madden NFL 21 and has inched his way up in the ranks with consistently great performances all year. Now that he's led his team to Super Bowl 55, he's getting bumped up once more to a 96 overall ahead of the big game, despite throwing 3 interceptions against the Packers. He also had 3 touchdown passes and 280 yards. Nobody's ever done like Brady. His success over the last 2 decades and the fact that he's now landed a Super Bowl berth with a new team is a testament to his unparalleled skill under center. And he pretty much said it right there. He threw 3 picks, but he also threw 3 touchdowns. The way my math works is that should probably cancel itself out, but I don't know how EA does things. I think just because of the fact that he got his team to the Super Bowl, they're kind of giving him that 1-point boost for the QB win statistic that is kind of just growing very old in the league. It's a team sport. It's not all on the QB, but I'm pretty sure that's why they're giving him the bump, whereas Patrick Mahomes is already a 99, so there's nothing else to bump him up to. The next guy they're talking about here is Jason Pierre-Paul, who's definitely kind of revived his career a bit with the Tampa Bay Bucks, going up 1 to an 85 overall. It says here, the Buccaneers defense is stacked with talent, and veteran Jason Pierre-Paul posted 2 sacks against the Packers last weekend. He'll see a +1 overall increase this week thanks to bumps in speed, acceleration, awareness, power moves, and play recognition ratings ahead of Super Bowl Sunday. Next up, another pass rusher for the Bucs, Shaquille Barrett, going up +1 to an 88. Led the league in sacks last year. Didn't have quite as crazy of a performance this season, but still a very good player. It says here, another defensive veteran on Tampa Bay was active in the Packers backfield last weekend, as Shaquille Barrett posted 3 sacks and hit the QB 4 times. His overall will see a +1 increase to an 88 overall ahead of the Super Bowl, driven by bumps in awareness, tackling, power moves, finesse moves, and play recognition ratings. And now let's talk about the players that are going down, and you knew Aaron Rodgers was just going to be one of them. They're always a little bit tougher on Aaron Rodgers, it seems like, and he really didn't have that bad of a game. In fact, he's probably going to be the MVP of the whole season, but in that game in particular, I thought he played better than Brady did, yet he's going down probably just because he simply lost the game and Brady won. He's going down 1 to a 95 overall, and here's what they had to say. From a statistical standpoint, Aaron Rodgers had a better game than Tom Brady did last weekend. Rodgers threw 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception, and totaled 346 yards, but that wasn't enough to emerge victorious and advance to the Super Bowl. Rodgers had an unbelievable MVP-worthy season. Nobody's arguing that, but he did take the loss to Brady and the Bucs, and for that reason, the Madden ratings adjuster team is kicking 1 point off his overall rating by the end of the year. See, I just don't agree with that. He had a great game just because his team lost, right? We saw what their defense did. Their defense gave up some terrible stuff, like the bomb right before halftime. Like, that loss wasn't solely on Aaron Rodgers. There were some areas of the game where he could have been better in certain aspects of the game, but for the most part, he played a pretty solid game, better than Brady did, and we could argue that the coach's decision to not go for the touchdown and instead kick the field goal completely gave Aaron Rodgers no chance to go take the game himself and win it. So, I don't know, you know, y'all know all year I've talked about it. I don't really agree with the ratings process and how they do things. I'm just reporting to you what they did. And the next guy they're touching on here is Kevin King, and boy does this guy deserve to go down. I mean, this guy was one of the main reasons they lost, without a doubt. They need to look to replacing that guy for sure. He's going down 2 to a 74 overall, and it says here, Kevin King got beat at the end of the first half on a long touchdown pass from Tom Brady to Scotty Miller. Of all the weapons Tampa Bay has in its offense, King let Scotty Miller get behind him. He also committed a holding penalty late in the fourth quarter, which resulted in a first down and helped the Buccaneers seal the game. Not that it would have changed the outcome, but it was still a momentum breaker for Green Bay. Anyway, King is going down -2 to his overall to end the season at a 74 overall. Now, we got a few more names to cover. Those are just the guys that they specifically touched on, but there's some other guys going up and going down. We'll start with the guys going up. Tristan Wirfs, the rookie tackle for Tampa Bay, had a phenomenal season, goes up +2 to an 88 overall. Was definitely the right pick in the draft for them. Juan Thornhill goes up +1 to a 79 overall. Deshaun Hand goes up +1 to a 76 overall. Jordan Whitehead goes up +1 to a 76 overall as well. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who actually had a good game. He's a guy that's kind of, taking a lot of flack for drops and stuff like that, but he had a solid game for Green Bay. He's going up +1 to a 76 overall. Bashaud Breeland goes up +1 to a 75 overall, and Dawson Knox goes up +2 to a 75 overall. Now, there's a few other players that are going down, and another guy from the Packers here that's going down that I don't quite completely agree with is Aaron Jones. Had a phenomenal season. I don't really remember if he had such a good or bad game on Sunday, to be honest with you. I guess it wasn't too great because I'm not really remembering what he did. But still, I mean, it probably wasn't I'm sure it wasn't an awful game, but he goes down 1 to a 90. Jadeveon Clowney, who obviously didn't play this weekend, they decided to drop him 1 to an 87 overall. And then we have Cody Whitehair going down 1 to an 80 overall. Now, in terms of what to be on the lookout for, next week, there's a good possibility of a big title update because it's been almost a month since the last big title update. Obviously, they do these little roster updates every week and things like that, maybe some little tweaks, but we usually get one big update around the first week of the month. We had been getting sometimes 2 a month because the game had so many issues, but as the year kind of tailors off, as you guys have kind of become accustomed to in previous years, for January, February, March, and maybe even April, usually you can expect one big update, usually at the beginning of the month. Now, the last update was the first week of January. Next week, in a few days, in fact, we're going to be into the first week of February. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, potentially, we could have that next big title update that will affect things like gameplay. I don't think it'll be franchise just yet. I think the last franchise update of the year is more so scheduled to be around the first week of March. So that's when we can be targeting that. But I do think more gameplay updates, potentially playbook updates and X Factor updates that we've been waiting for, that could be next week. So that's it for today. Make sure to stay tuned for those updates next week. Turn on the bell icon so that you don't miss those videos when they drop. And as always, I will see you guys next time.